Okay, today we are finishing up this page in the packet. Yesterday we did this problem and this problem as a class, or I did it really, and you watched how I did it. So I'm gonna do two more today and you can watch how I do those. So I'll do two bigger ones again. I'll do let's see, I'll do 252 divided by 6. I'll do that one first. Okay, so the problem is 252 divided by 6, which can look like this, but with long division it looks like this. You have the bigger number out, you have the bigger number here, you divide it by 6. And for those of you who came to the math groups yesterday, please always come to the math groups, you guys. It makes all of this stuff make so much more sense. If you miss it, you're putting yourself at a big disadvantage. But it's the same kind of thing as we did yesterday in the group, where it's like you had Big Ed or Big Andy or Big John, whoever it was, he's paying you guys. You got 6 people on your team, and you want to divide up this much money between the 6 people. You have Big John's got 2 hundreds, 5 tens, and 2 ones, and he wants to divide them up. So you should be able to solve this with nothing more than your multiplication table, and you might not even need that. So the first thing you think about is, okay, Big John's got 2 hundreds, and we've got 6 people. So does everybody get 100? No. So the first step is divide. So you divide 2 by 6. Can you divide 2 by 6? Not without going into fractions, and we're not doing you don't do fractions in long division. So no. Nobody gets 100, guys. And now we multiply to see how many he gave out. So 0 times 6 is 0. He gave out 0. He still has both of them, right? And you make sure you put them in line. Right now we're just working on the hundreds. It should all be in a line. Just like in multiplication, you work in the line you're working in. Subtract to see how many he has left. Well, 2 minus 0, that's second grade math right there, first grade math. 2 minus 0 is 2. And now bring down. So now we're bringing down the 5. We're talking about tens. Now we're moving on the 10 spot. So what that means is Big John takes those $200 bills, takes them over to the bank, and he gets 20 tens. And he already had 5 tens, so he's got 25 tens. And meanwhile, nobody's gotten paid in the group. And we're like, come on, pay up. So we have 25 tens. Now people are going to get some money. 25 divided by 6, you can definitely do that, right? So we need to divide 25 by 6. Or you could think of 6 times what equals almost 25. Sometimes people say, how many times does 6 go into 25? Which is kind of a confusing way to say it, but it does make sense. And we're thinking about 6 times what? How many groups of 6 fit into 25? So we find our 6. Oh, there's 24. That's really close. There's 30. 30 is too much. You can't go over. He doesn't have $30. He has $25. So 24 is as close as we can get. And then we look up. Oh, yeah, 6 times 4 is 24. I knew that. So what that means is each person, 6 times 4 is almost 24. It's almost 25, I mean. 6 times 4, each person can get 4 tens. 6 times 4, and what is it? Multiply. 6 times 4 is 24, because we need to find out how many gave out. He just gave out 24. Now we subtract to see how many he still got. 25 minus 24, that's 1. So that means he still has a 10. Each person in the group just got 4 tens. That's also known as $40. But he still has a 10. He's like, I don't know what to do with this one. So he goes to the bank, he gets 10 ones, and he's like, okay, well, let's have to divide up the ones. And now we're on the ones. Bring down. Please do the arrows just like I do. Bring it down. Now he has 12 ones. Now we can probably just solve the problem, right? Repeat. 12 divided by 6. Or 6 times what equals almost 12? Well, hopefully you should know that. And the cool thing about this kind of stuff, you guys, when you're dividing by 6, you're looking for multiples of 6. You can just keep looking at the 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Oh, it's right there. So 6 times 2 is 12. Or 12 divided by 6 is 2. Remember that the triangle's numbers? 6 times 2 is 12, or 12 divided by 2 is 6. 12 divided by 6 is 2. But what we're trying to figure out is 12 divided by 6. Oh yeah, it's 2, right there. So we multiply to see how many he just gave out. Well, he he gave out 2 times 6. Give out all of them, right? Subtract, yeah, there are none left. So each person in the group just got 4 10s and 2 1s. So the answer is 42. So when we look at think about those cool triangles, well, 6 times 42 is 252. We just solved it. And 252 divided by 6 is 42. And it goes each way, you know. 42 times 6 is 252. 6 times 42 is 252. 252 divided by 42 is 6. 252 divided by 6 is 42. So those numbers work the same way, just like 3, 2, and 6 work. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. It's the same thing, it's just bigger numbers. And when you have bigger numbers, it seems more complicated, but it's the same relationship. Okay, I'm going to do another problem from the worksheet. So you could pause it, go back and pause it. Make sure that yours looks just like that, where you have exactly the same lines and everything like that. Okay, let's do, so we did that one. Let's do another bigger one. Let's do this one. 161 divided by 7, which could look like this, or it could look like this. Same thing. But in long division, it's got to look like that. All right, so Big John's got another job. He's like, come on over, guys. I want you to clean my boat. 7 people are on the team this time, and this guy, Big John, he's got $100 bill, 6 10s, and 1 1. So, how much money does each person get? Well, 7 times what is 161? Anybody have a guess? What do you think? Well, I know 7 times 10 is 70. And what about 7 times 20? Well, 7 times 2 is 14. And then add the 0. Oh, so it's going to be at least 20 bucks a piece, right? So 7 times what is 161? Well, 7 times 20 is 140, so it's more than that. What about 7 times 30? What's that? Well, what's 7 times 3? It's 21. Now add the 0. Okay, so it's going to be somewhere between 20 and 30. I'm just going to guess it's going to be about 24, but I don't really know. But I know it's between 161 is between 140 and 210, so it's going to be somewhere between 20 and 37s. But how many 7s? Okay, so also known as how much money does each person get? So let's think about that. We've got the hundreds, the tens, the ones, just like last time. It's always the same. Does anybody get 100? What's 1 divided? Can we divide 1 by 7? No, we don't have. We have to have at least 700s for each person to get 1. So yeah, nobody gets 1. If that number is smaller than this number, it's 0. So now we multiply to see how many we gave out. 0 times 7. 0 times any number is 0. Subtract. 1 minus 0 is 1. Bring down. Now we're talking about the tens. Whenever you bring down, you're talking about the next spot. We were doing hundreds, now we're doing tens. So now we're breaking up the tens. So we've got 16 tens because he takes that 100 to the bank, gets 10 tens. He already had 6. He's got 16. And now the 7 people who just did the job are like, okay, I know I'm going to get some 10s. Am I right? And he's like, yep, you are. So 7 times what equals almost 16 without going over, because he can't go over because he can't give out more than he has. So I find the 7s here. Well, 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. That's pretty close. 7 times 3 is 21. He doesn't have 21, does he? He only has 16. So it can't be 21. It's got to be the 14. That's all he's going to be able to give out. So 7 times what is 14? 7 times 2 is 14. So what that means is 7 times 2 is 14. You could write it down there. What that means is each person's going to get 2 10s, also known as 20 bucks. So how many 7s can fit into 16? 2 of them. So now we multiply. 7 times 2 is 14. Subtract. How many does Big John have left? He still has 2 10s. And our team's like, well, we want those too, Big John. So he takes those to the bank and he gets 21s. And he already had one, right? So you bring that one down. And now we can finish the job here. And he's like, okay, now pay up. Well, what's 21 divided by 7? Divide. Or 7 times what equals 21? How many 7s? How many groups of 7 are there in 21? 7 times, go back to here. Oh, there's 21 right there. It's the next number. It's 3. 7 times 3 is 21. Or 21 divided by 7 is 3. So what that means is we each get $3. We're like, we'll take it. It's not that much money, but we'll take it. 3 times, now we multiply to see how many he gave out. 7 times 3 is 21. Subtract, see what he has left. He has none left. So he just gave out all of his money. He's like, I hope you're satisfied. So the numbers that we found out are 7 and 23 and 161. So the way those numbers work is 161 divided by 7 is 23. And 7 times 23 is 161. So we just solved that problem right there. So as you're doing these, please make sure they look like this. Yeah, it's kind of a lot of work, but it's sort of cool once you get used to it because it's this cool pattern that just keeps on working. But it's always the same thing. First you break up the first bill, in this case it's the hundreds, and then once you divide those out to the 7 people, then it's time to divide up the tens. And once you divide those up, you see what's left over. It's time to divide up the ones. And once you do the ones, you're done. And usually, in this case, in this whole page, you're never going to have anything left over. But later on, we might have a couple left over. We'll see. So please finish this page today. And I've just done 2 more for you. So I've actually done 4 of these for you. But please don't just write the answer. Write down all of this stuff. You can pause it and write it down so you see how you have to do it. And if you want to see any problems worked out, just look at the first page. I work out a whole bunch. And you can see exactly how you do it.